Hello everyone. So let's start the k closest points to origin question, and this is basically a part of the heap pattern, like k based patterns. So initially it seems like it's a hard problem, but believe me, it's actually an easy problem. So let's start with the brute force solution. What we can think of a brute force solution is like, first of all, we can create calculate the distances and create them in a pair. Like, first of all, create a pair based vector. Then we can do iterating through the points and calculating the distance. After that we can sort the elements, sort the vector. We have got it, sort the vector based on distance. After that basically we can get the k closest. So let's start the implementation. So first of all, we can create a pair vector, basically consisting of pairs. Like, I am gonna show you vector of pair int comma pair int comma int. Why I am doing this? Because in here we are creating a pair which will initially, the pair will have a distance as well as the coordinates. That's why I'm creating this type of vector. So it is let me show you, distance comma x and y. These are basically the coordinates. So that's why I'm taking this type of vector structure. So now let's iterate through the points for calculating the distance. Like, we will use an iterator to go through the points, and as we can see, it has been mentioned that the x and y coordinates. So we have the x coordinate, which we can access through the it of 0, and for y coordinate we can access it through it of 1. And then we need to have distance calculation based from origin. Basically origin is about 0 0, so we can have the distance as distance equal to x into x plus y into y. Guys, remember one thing, don't use this, sorry, like x to the power 2 plus y to the power 2, because this will not give you the product. It is basically an XOR operation, so avoid this. Now after the distance calculation, you basically have to push it into vector, which we are further gonna sort it. Vector dot push, where first we need to push distance and then the coordinates, required coordinates x and y. So after this we can proceed to this sorting part. So sorting, sort begin of vector and end of vector. You can do vector dot begin also, but that doesn't matter. Then we should create an answer vector, which will be also a pair, but it will only consist of 2 points, like two coordinate system, like vector of pair of int comma int and answer, in which we are gonna store the solution, like the coordinate which are the closest. So we want k coordinates, k closest. Since we have sorted the vector, we are gonna get the closest point only. So we have to run a loop from I equal to 0 to k, and I equal to 0 to I less than k incremented by 1. So basically we are gonna push them into our answer vector, like answer dot pushback, and we are gonna access the vector elements by vector of I dot begin. Since first is distance and then it is the second part, So we are gonna access it like vector of I dot, sorry, dot second dot first for the x coordinate, and then yeah, vector of I dot second dot second. In this way we can like fill our answer vector, and then at last we would return the answer. So let's try whether it runs or not. I hope it will run fine. Vector dot, sorry, it's pushback. Let's try again. What's the error? Return answer vector of parent comma and no viable conversation vector of pair int comma int. It should be running. Sorry. Oh, vector of int. Like since we have to store the coordinates as like multiple coordinates can be closest. So let's try again. Yeah, it's working fine. So let's discuss the time complexity. So basically uh, here for like uh, distance calculation, it will be basically a big of 1, and talking about sorting, it will be big of n log n, which basically we will removing using the priority queue, and here it will be big of k like for getting the k closest. And talking about the space complexity, it will be like you can't consider this as a complexity because you will need for returning the answer. So basically we are using a vector, we can say. So let's move to the optimal solution, and how you gonna get the intuition of like we have to use heap here, because whenever you are like getting the questions related to like k closest, k smallest, k largest, then you can think of like heap approach. So instead of vector we can simply use a max heap. And why max heap? Because no yes, why max heap? Because in max heap maximum distance will be at the top, so we can basically eliminate the maximum distance by keeping a constraint on uh, priority queue size. So priority queue, yeah, pair int comma pq, let's rename it. Yeah, so x will be as this distance. Here we are gonna pq dot pushback is not valid for like priority queue. And after pushing we are basically gonna implement a constraint like if pq dot size greater than k. So we basically are doing here like we are basically restricting the window of size k like pq dot pop. After that we don't need this sort function because priority queue will handle the maximum value at the top itself. And for the answer, yeah, we need an answer, and instead of like traversing k elements from the top, we are basic since we have like implemented the constraint like k, so there will be only k elements in the priority queue, so no need for like traversing the it like I equal to 0 to go. So we are gonna check the priority queue till it gets empty, and like using the iterator we are gonna like pq dot top. After new coordinates we are gonna get x new, we can name it, and it dot second. Yeah, how I am gonna iterate it like it, basically we are iterating this it dot first, which is distance, so don't consider it. It dot second dot first is x, and similarly it dot second dot second is y. So it dot second dot first, and for new y coordinate it will be it dot second dot second. So we are gonna push this new coordinates into our answer vector. So dot push back, it will be x underscore new, sorry, it will be y underscore new underscore comma y underscore new. Yeah, don't forget to like pop the topmost element, otherwise it will be give time limit exceeded. Now let's return the answer and check whether it will run fine or not. Auto it equal to pq dot top, it is correct. Auto it, oh sorry, auto, why it's giving the error, pq dot auto it. So it will be auto equal. Sometimes I also do like silly mistakes. So here it is running fine. Let's submit it. Now let's discuss the complexity. Here we are basically like doing for n points, and for each point we have to do like logarithmic of k, that is log of k, like k, which is here k is the heap size, and for n points we basically need to do n into logarithmic of k plus big O of plus big O of we can say like k elements in the heap, so big O of k, so overall it will be logarithmic n into logarithmic of k. And for space it is big, we can say O of 1, we can consider this as an extra space because we need this for returning the answer. So thank you.